discover a hidden world of magic in the back gardens of the Haven Shoppe. Tonight, the sister witches have requested your assistance in providing much-needed supplies to tiny magical beings, the Elflettes. Together with Layla, the shop's resident black cat, you embark on a whimsical adventure. Under the moonlight, you befriend these miniature beings and forge a newfound connection with nature. If you're still awake when the story is over, I'll offer you a brief meditation for connecting with your inner magic. The Haven Shoppe is a fantasy bedtime story series that will reconnect you with your inner magic as you dwell in the sacred space between waking and sleep. My name is Andrea, and I am deeply honored to be part of your sacred bedtime ritual. Let's take a moment to release the tensions of the day and prepare for your bedtime story. Get cozy and close your eyes. Then take a deep breath in, allowing your chest to expand fully. Hold it for a moment, then exhale slowly, releasing any stress. Continue with a few more rounds, letting each inhale bring calmness and each exhale carry away any lingering worries. Feel the natural rhythm created by the rise and fall of your chest. Now, shift your attention to your forehead. Imagine a warm, golden light. Let it trickle down to your eyes, allowing them to relax behind closed lids. Sense the soothing warmth as it moves down to your cheeks, loosening the muscles of your face. Bring your awareness to your jaw, allowing it to unclench. Release any tightness around your neck and shoulders. Picture the golden light sweeping away stress, leaving your upper body light and free. It flows through your heart center to your abdomen and lower back, making you feel peaceful and serene. Let this soothing energy flow through your hips, legs, all the way down to your toes. Embrace this moment of calmness as you continue to breathe. From here on, the only thing you need to do is relax and enjoy tonight's story. Saturday mornings are one of your favorite times of the week. You look forward to easing into the day, savoring your favorite morning drink, and gazing out the window. The gentle sunlight casts its glow onto the new day that's filled with possibilities. You decide to stretch your legs and check the mail. As you step into the morning air, a symphony of sound greets you. the gentle rustle of leaves, birdsong in the trees, and the distant hum of awakening life as neighbors set to their morning activities. The air is fresh, and the warm sun feels soothing on your skin. You take a deep, generous inhale, filling your lungs with clean morning air. A mix of surprise and wonder washes over you as you notice a rare white raven perched atop your mailbox. "Good morning, Rex," you exclaim. While he is a friendly and familiar sight, Rex is one of the magical residents of the Haven Shoppe. His distinctive presence never fails to captivate you. Rex is no ordinary raven. He is a creature of extraordinary intelligence and magic, serving as familiar to one of the local witches, Jadis. She and her sister Aurora are the magical shopkeepers in town, whom you've grown quite close to. Rex's feathers, pristine as freshly fallen snow, are beautifully luminescent, and his sharp, piercing eyes always seem to carry a hint of playfulness. The bird's movements are graceful, and his presence is calming, mirroring the serene energy that Jadis channels in her craft. The witch and her familiar share a profound connection that can only be described as a sacred partnership. Rex is an extension of Jadis herself and her nature-infused magic. Today, it appears Rex is playing the role of messenger, judging by the envelope delicately held in his beak. Intrigued, you cautiously retrieve the unexpected delivery. As he releases the letter from his ivory beak, you could swear he winks at you before flying off. Eager to read the message your feathered friend brings, you gather the rest of your mail and head back inside. You cozy into your favorite chair and inspect the envelope more closely. Brown parchment, displaying your first name, penned in calligraphy ink. No stamp required, with the witch's traditional choice of mail carrier. The envelope displays a red wax seal with the initials HS for Haven Shoppe. You can't wait to learn what the sister witches have to say. As you delicately peel back the wax seal, a glittery mist emerges from the envelope, rising into the air and bursting into an iridescent cloud before disappearing completely. The magical poof catches you off guard and makes you sneeze. With a bit more caution, you pull the letter from the envelope and open it. Dearest friend, we have a favor to ask of you. Tonight we embark on a journey to retrieve a sacred relic in need of a home. If you would be so kind as to visit the shop this evening, we'd be most grateful, as would our special friends under our care. Detailed instructions await you on the front counter. With heartfelt gratitude, Jadis and Aurora. P.S. Apologies if the enclosed enchantment caught you unaware. The shop is locked up tight, but you are now officially imbued with our energetic signature, which will grant you entry. The friendly sister witches have given you so much and have never asked for anything in return. It would be your pleasure to lend a hand. You spend the day attending to your own chores and preparing for the week ahead. All the while, your mind lingers on the letter. You're so curious to discover what's required of you at the magical shop. That evening, after dinner and dishes, you set out onto the footpath through the woods that begins on your street and leads directly to the Haven Shoppe's back gardens. As the sun begins to set, the woods come alive with a symphony of nature and wildlife. The dappled sunlight filters through the thick canopy, casting enchanting shadows on the forest floor. The air carries the scent of mossy earth and blooming wildflowers. Various woodland creatures reveal themselves in the softening light of dusk. Squirrels playfully dart from tree to tree, their bushy tails flickering in the fading daylight. And you pass a family of rabbits, nibbling on tender grasses near the path, their ears perking up at your approach before they gracefully hop away. Overhead, a pair of owls exchange hoots in subdued conversation, their silhouettes briefly visible against the darkening sky. Fireflies begin to emerge, flickering like tiny stars, as if lighting your path forward. Walking through these woods, you feel your connection with nature deepening, as if the very trees are weaving a welcome as you pass through their home. When you finally emerge in the shop's back gardens, you are overcome by the beauty of the magical oasis. Lush greenery thrives in every corner, with aromatic herbs, seasonal produce, and vibrant flowers, all neatly arranged. The air carries the heady fragrance of lavender, mandrake, and roses as dusk settles over the gardens. On many occasions, you have sipped healing elixirs at these bistro tables, watching Jadis and Aurora lovingly tend to their gardens with skilled hands, weaving nature's magic into potent ingredients for their spells and potions. This space is a healing sanctuary that you've grown to love dearly. In the quietude of the now closed space, the outdoor sitting area still looks ever so welcoming, like a serene retreat. Empty chairs and tables await the return of customers, and a quaint birdhouse stands nearby, its intricate design catching the eye even in stillness. The air is filled with the subtle whispers of a gentle breeze, promising the fragrant allure of healing teas. Once the doors swing open for business again, this outdoor haven patiently awaits the lively conversations, moon rituals, and divination readings that will once more fill the space in the days to come. You try the back door, only to find it locked. But before you can pull your hand away, the doorknob begins to hum and gently rattle beneath your grasp. And just like that, it twists open. You giggle with delight at this enchanting version of home security. As you step inside and flick on a light, it occurs to you that you've never been alone in the shop before. 2 empty easy chairs, gleaming hardwood floors, and tidy surfaces greet you. The gentle ticking of an old grandfather clock is the only sound you hear. Even Rex's domed cage sits vacant. This is a strange departure from the usual bustle. You move through the common room, past the unlit hearth that patiently awaits the crackle of a future fire, and into the main shop area. As promised, you find a note waiting for you on the polished wood counter. It reads, "Thank you so much for coming to tend shop in our unexpected absence. Most everything can wait until our return, but there is one special task we ask of you. We hope you enjoy carrying it out as much as we do. The Elflette family is in need of assistance. Behind the counter, you will find a canister of wood bits, accompanied by a small metal spoon. Please deliver 1 spoonful of wood bits to the Elflette residence. Just follow the cobblestone path through the back gardens until you reach a large tree stump. You'll know it when you see it. Deposit the wood there, and take no offense if you don't catch sight of anyone. The Elflettes rarely reveal themselves to humans. Please feel free to stay and enjoy the gardens for as long as you'd like. In gratitude, Jadis and Aurora." Elflettes? Who on earth could they be? You make your way behind the counter to search for the mentioned supplies, curiosity welling up within you. You've never been on this side of the counter before. You can feel a ripple of magic as you cast your gaze across the witch's private stock. Antique apothecary jars house rare and mystical ingredients. Delicate vials of iridescent potions, each labeled with meticulous care, hold the promise of otherworldly experiences. And an ancient grimoire, its pages worn with time, rests beside a mortar and pestle. You've seen the old book once before, while visiting with the sister witches after hours. Other shelves are filled with a collection of divination tools, crystal balls, tarot decks, and runes, each possessing a silent tale of its own. You could spend hours right here examining each one. But you are here to carry out a specific task. And as fascinating as the inner workings of the shop are, you are beyond eager to learn more about these mysterious Elflettes and see if you can spot one. Quickly enough, you find the glass canister and spoon. Setting the container on the counter, you scoop out a generous portion of wood bits before securing the lid and setting the jar back where you found it. Heaping spoon in hand, you gingerly retrace your steps toward the back door, where you find Layla, the resident black cat, patiently waiting to accompany you on your errand. You're happy to see her, and together you embark down the cobblestone path. The last of the evening sunlight plays peekaboo through the leaves overhead, casting a mosaic of light and shadows on the winding trail. Layla gracefully leads the way, her green eyes gleaming with a knowing mischief. You stroll through the property, enjoying the evening walk and the crisp night air. You pick up the distant murmur of a bubbling brook and fragrant blossoms that border the trail respond to your presence, releasing their soothing scents into the breeze. Your anticipation grows as a large tree stump with a weathered surface comes into view. With Layla at your side, you move closer to the designated spot, and the tiny wood chips seem to resonate with the energy of the surroundings. The air hums with a subtle enchantment, as if nature itself is acknowledging the purpose of your journey. You can sense without a doubt that you are in the right place. As you get closer, you discover a small stone house sitting atop the stump. This must be it. The tiny structure is about eye level, allowing you to make out small windows with miniature flower boxes, a wooden door, and a chimney merrily puffing away. It is absolutely adorable. On one side of the tiny house, you see a makeshift lean-to, sheltering a few last bits of wood that are a perfect match to the wood on your spoon. Of course, you've come to replenish the supply. There is just enough room for you to insert the spoon under the little shelter and deposit the timber. With a single motion, your mission is complete. You can't help but wonder where the residents are and what they look like. You've never heard of an Elflette before. You dare a peek into the front window of the little home, leaning in closer to peer inside. The miniature dwelling is adorned with homey details and furnishings. The interior looks like a tiny version of the coziest cottage you could ever imagine. You wish you could shrink yourself down and go inside the inviting retreat. You feel deeply grateful and honored that Jadis and Aurora entrusted you with this very important act of service. Your heart is full, even if you don't actually get to meet the mysterious Elflette beings. Being mindful not to overstay your welcome, you turn to leave, when a flutter of movement catches your eye. Your heart leaps when 3 little Elflettes suddenly appear, preparing to descend with delicate grace from their home atop the tree stump. They are tiny, well under a foot high, with pointed ears and warm smiles. Intricately crafted ropes, seemingly woven from threads of moonlight, extend from the tiny dwelling down to where you stand. The Elflettes, with nimble agility, expertly loop the enchanted ropes around their little bodies. They lower themselves down, and with each careful maneuver, they gradually approach the ground, their tiny forms radiating whimsical energy. You are frozen in place, eyes wide, positively speechless by the fantastical sight. You're sure you must be gawking, but can barely help yourself. Upon reaching the earth, the Elflettes go to work, releasing a series of tiny ribbons to offload the cargo they carried down on their backs. When their work is finished, each one cradles a beautiful yellow daisy in their small hands. With eyes on you, their timid expressions reflect true appreciation and delight. You smile back at them without moving a muscle. You don't want to startle your darling new friends. Layla leaves your side and approaches the little troop. When she reaches them, the black cat bows her head deeply, flattening her front legs onto the ground in a respectful crouch. With a knowing trust, each Elflette, one by one, moves toward the feline and places their offering onto her back. Then, with grace and balance, Layla carries the blossoms over to you, bowing her head again as your signal to retrieve them. You bend down to collect the flowers from the cat, fully aware of the symbolism behind this precious little thank you gift. Daisies represent sweet simplicity, and the color yellow signifies friendship. The Elflettes are grateful. You marvel at the delicate blossoms resting in your hand that bridge the gap between your world and theirs. With a subtle nod of appreciation, the Elflettes gracefully ascend their moonlit ropes, retracing their ethereal path back to their stone house atop the tree stump. Their departure is a delicate dance of magic and whimsy, leaving you with a lingering sense of wonder in the tranquil gardens. As they vanish into their dwelling, you're left with the daisies and the precious memory of a moment shared with your newfound, pint-sized friends. With your errand successfully completed, you decide it's time to head back to the shop, lock up, and return home. But then you remember the Sister Witch's invitation to enjoy the gardenscape at your leisure. You decide to take them up on that offer and follow the cobblestone path back to the seating area you were admiring earlier, with Layla following close behind. There, under the soft embrace of moonlight, a tranquil serenity envelops you and your feline companion. The air is still, and the rhythmic chirping of crickets is the only sound you hear apart from your own breathing. The moonlight paints the garden in a serene palette, accentuating the beauty of every leaf and flower. The fragrance of night-blooming jasmine and other nocturnal blossoms wafts through the air, while Layla purrs contentedly, curled up at your feet. As you sit in quiet contemplation, you twirl one of the gifted daisies between your fingers. There is so much magic in this world, if you know where to look. You feel a renewed connection with nature. What a lovely day this has turned out to be. You will carry this feeling of wonder and joy in your heart for many days to come. As you settle into your cozy bed, focus on the air filling your lungs. With each exhale, gently release any lingering tension or thoughts. Visualize a gentle, glowing light at your core. This warm, twinkling light represents your inner magic. Feel its warmth expanding and embracing your entire being. Let this soft energy of magic fill your heart and color the lens through which you see your life. As you drift into sleep, allow its soothing energy to guide you into your private world of dreams, where fantasy and imagination weave endless enchantments for you to explore and enjoy. Good night.